All right, folks, welcome everyone. Wow, what a great group we got already. Early people joining on. I appreciate everyone on the chat just telling us where you're joining us from here. Got folks from Arizona, Oklahoma, California, Pennsylvania. Wow, look at that. Got folks from Canada. What's going on, folks? Awesome. So we got a lot to go over today, folks. A lot. So we're gonna go over today. How to a very smart way of doing open houses where you're not chasing leads, but you're there to win trust, build brand, convert interest into opportunities. This is what top producers are doing right now differently in 2025. Very quickly, though, before we get started, we have Amy, who is on our support team. She's going to be on the chat here. So if there's any questions, please put the questions in the chat window and we'll bring them up to the presentations as needed. And she'll also answer questions as they come through. So feel free to ask them as you need them, and we'll keep this very fluid, folks. So before we get all tactical, some of you may have seen me on the last webinar, so it's great to see you again. Some of you, many of you, probably it's the first time seeing me and seeing Kaydoh. So a little bit about myself. I'm the founder and CEO of Kaydoh. We've been in business a little bit over 7 years. I myself have been in real estate, both residential and commercial, a little bit over 15 years now. I've launched a tech product that's been used in over 100 countries, including a chatbot that went viral way before ChatGPT made bots pretty cool and mainstream now. Now, above all, though, I'm a father of 5 daughters. So when I say life gets busy, I understand. And I understand how realtors can be super busy as well. I've worked with thousands of realtors, and I've seen time and time and again how some of the best agents can sometimes struggle articulating their value in a very clear, modern, easy, repeatable way. And that's why we built Kaydoh. So let's talk about what's actually happening at the open houses now. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to break down the outdated way how open houses are done. I'm going to show you what top producers are doing differently and how they're shifting their strategies. And then I'm going to walk you through the open house hack and how to build one of these pages. And by the end of today, you're going to know exactly what that modern funnel looks like. And because everybody here is part of the eXp community, you're going to all have a chance to get early access to try this out yourself. So here's the truth when it comes to open houses. First thing is we have to recognize open houses are one of the most true and tried methods of generating opportunities if you do it right. The problem, though, is that most of these open houses that are done today, they're very passive, right? Visitors, they come, they don't engage. You pass out flyers that has all that information in there. So you really don't give the visitors a reason to speak with you, engage with you. Your sign-in sheets can be very dated. You're making people sign in. A lot of times people's handwriting is not legible. There's no automatic verification. They're giving you fake information. And what's even worse, a lot of times you have neighbors, potential sellers coming to your open houses to look at how you're doing your marketing, comparing their home to your open house. And unfortunately, they don't see how you're different from any other realtor doing open houses, right? There's no lead strategy. There's no modern experience. Now, here's how you're doing things a little bit differently now using what we call the open house growth hack. This is where we're flipping the script where you're not giving them a flyer that has all the information. Remember, buyers are pretty smart these days, so they already have accumulated a lot of information already. What you're doing is you're trying to create some exclusivity. You're giving them a flyer like this where all you're telling them to do is if you want more information that has more detail, you're going to have to scan here. Don't give them any other way. Now, I understand some realtors that might feel like, well, I still need to have people sign a piece of paper. Well, have that available, but don't make that the first thing they have to do. Make it very clear, scan here to get information. And when they're scanning in, you're telling them, you're not scanning it because this is the new rules, the new policy. Buyers, visitors don't want to hear that, right? What's the value that you're giving to them that makes them want to scan it? So you're telling them, scan here, you're going to get information that isn't publicly available, information that is not on Zillow. Because again, buyers think They know everything. They think they found all that information. But when you tell them it's not available on these major search portals, it creates curiosity. And when they scan it, it's going to take them to a page, an open house page, that's going to have great information. And some of that information is going to be gated. Gated meaning they have to fill out, register to get that information. Now, what goes in a open house page, what's going to be valuable to a buyer? Let's go over that very briefly here, folks. What goes in it can be potentially what we call an open house page. I'm sorry, not open house, an off-market opportunity at the open house page. So this is a tactic that, I understand it could be a little bit controversial, right? Because there's this wave of whether this is right to do, whether you should market, off market. Here's the thing, folks. Real estate does this always. Realtors do this always. You have access to information that is not publicly available. You go to a broker tour, someone tells you that there's potentially a coming soon in this area. That's technically an off-market opportunity. It's not in MLS. Zillow doesn't know about it. You do. So that's how you're going to get people to register for that type of information. It could be coming soons that aren't publicly marketed yet on the search portals. So that's a way for people to want to register and fill out information to get access to off-market or coming soons. You can have your typical full buyer report that is printed out from your MLS. You can also have open houses that are nearby that current property that you're doing an open house for. The reality is this: they may not come to that open house and be that buyer for that seller of yours. However, by giving them something valuable where they can see other open houses nearby, naturally comparing yours to theirs, you're giving them a way for that type of information. That is easy to do. On top of that, you can give them live housing market reports down to the zip code level. You can give them an interactive report that stays up to date automatically. On top of that, you're giving them local amenities. What is it like to live in that area, right? We hear this all the time from realtors. We're not selling a property, we're selling a lifestyle. So if you're selling a lifestyle, then you want to include what it's like to live, what are the restaurants, what are the parks nearby, what are the schools, the attractions, things of that nature. So you're giving, when people scan that QR code, you're giving them all this amazing information, including the photos, the typical information you see on a property website. But this here is giving you ample more information that makes a buyer looks at this and says, wow, this is, first of all, it's professional. Secondly, there's a lot of information here that they didn't have at their disposal when going on Zillow.com or Realtor.com, because a lot of times those search portals provide really pretty much the same static type of information. Now, here's where the magic happens. When someone scans the QR code, they land on the open house page and they decide, I want to register for off-market opportunities, or I want to get open houses nearby, or I want to schedule a private tour. We're going to have a form that's automatically available that pops up for them to fill out. It's going to ask for name, email. They just signed a broker agreement, the buyer agency agreement. Are they working with an agent? Very basic information that makes this lead a little bit more qualified. And where the magic happens is that once this information is collected, it's going to be sent to Kaydoh, where it leverages our AI technology that will clone your voice. It will clone the realtor's voice to send the lead who just signed in a ringless voicemail, a voice drop that's going to essentially do an instant follow-up for them to acknowledge, hey, thank you for signing the form. I'm going to get back to you shortly. I'm going to send you more information a little bit later today. But it's using your voice, your clone voice, and it's personalizing the message. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration, folks. I've cloned my voice. You kind of have heard how I sound here. So imagine your name is Frank. You fill out this information, and immediately you get in your inbox this voice message. I'm going to play it so everyone can hear it. Hey Frank, this is James. Thanks for checking out one of my listings or scanning in recently. If you have any questions about the property or would like to see others in the area, feel free to reach out anytime. You can call me directly. at 800-460-3574. I'm happy to help. I'll talk to you soon. Now, folks, put them on a chat window. Does that sound like me? Put that in chat window. Let me know, folks, because I can tell you when we tested this out, I even used it against my children, telling them to give me a call back because they got in trouble, and they called me back right away saying, "Dad, what happened?" They didn't even know it was my cloned voice. And that's the crazy part, folks. It only takes a few seconds to clone your voice, and then we can dynamically make the messages on your behalf. Now, on top of that, once we send that follow-up, Kaydoh is going to, in addition, collect that information and send that information to you as a realtor who's hosting the open house. You're going to get a text message. You're going to get an email, and it can go to any of your CRM. So if you're, for example, using Follow-Up Boss, you don't even have to integrate. You just give us the Follow-Up Boss email, and the information gets ported over there automatically once they sign in. Same thing with KV Core. Now, let me talk about a little bit briefly on the QR codes themselves. Now, I talked about this funnel on how this all works in terms of that open house page, but what makes it happen is the fact that you're using what we call a K-tag QR code. It's a proprietary QR code made by Kaydoh, but it's a QR code that is fully dynamic. These QR codes, you can essentially make it point to any resources you can think of, right? I know some of the agents right now might be thinking, well, what's different from this than a free QR code that I could just find online? Here's a quick answer, folks. Using those standard QR codes is like using a paper flyer in a digital world. These K-tags QR codes are smart, branded QR codes, and more importantly, they're reusable, they're dynamic, and they're always on brand. They can point to any Kaydoh page. We have over 40 templates. They can turn any page into an instant registration form. They can point to a phone number, an email address, a website, an external site, even a location. It can open up Google Maps and take you to a location. It can even be your business card where when someone scans it, it will, the visitor or the person who scans it will get your information onto their contact list right away. So these QR codes are powerful. You can invest in one of these printed writer signs and know that once you do one open house, you can point it to another open house. So you can print once, but mark it and change it anytime, anywhere. And so let's talk about a live demo, folks. I kind of gave you that funnel. That's very conceptual, but the best thing here is seeing is believing, right, folks? I'm going to show you how to build it right on the fly right now today. And what we're going to do is we're going to use one of our templates that we got available. We're going to show you how to put some content in. We're going to connect K-tags to one of those pages. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to switch the location. Once you make a QR code within our systems, how you can easily update it and it works on the fly. And then we're going to talk about how you can share it. How do you market it? And there's a couple of different strategies on how to do that. You guys all ready? I love folks here that are interacting in the chat window. We got some any questions here? We got questions. Is there a CRM that works with? So we work with any CRM, folks. So we do have an integration with Zapier, and we have some native direct integrations. So for those that are familiar with Zapier, it can connect with any CRM. If you use Bold Trail or like Follow-Up Boss, you give us the lead email, and we'll automatically send it to the system. Yes, got a question from Matt saying, are we going to continue to improve the AI voice? Absolutely. The voice is continually to be evolving over, and it's getting better and better. And I can tell you, the results we're getting right now are insane with the AI technology right now for those that are using our what we call the voice cloning piece. Great question, folks. Okay, so let's move on to a live demonstration. So I'm going to pull down my screen here. And I'm going to go to my dashboard. So when you're in Kaydoh, so let's just kind of pause here, shift gears. We're going to build out an open house page, okay? Whether this is your listing or somebody else's listing, doesn't matter, okay? You're here, you have an open house that's gonna happen this Saturday, Sunday between 1 to 5. That's the scenario. How do you build one out? First off, in Kaydoh, once you're in our system, you have something called easy mode. So we're going to choose that. And when you're in easy mode, you're going to see all of the available pre-built templates at your disposal. We have over 40 templates. You can do a listing presentation, a buyer presentation. You can work on FSBOs, expireds, off market. But we're not going to go over all that. I just want to give you an idea. You can do this in every. You have a lot of different opportunities, but we're going to focus on the open house sign-in. So I'm going to hit create. And note, folks, every one of these templates already comes with a built-in tutorial, video, and step-by-step. So you're never left alone. Also, you have live chat here where you can speak with our team 24 hours a day, Monday through Monday, start a live chat, and you can ask questions. They'll help you accordingly. Okay, so let's go ahead and build out an open house page. We're going to hit create, and this is what you're going to do. Everybody goes through this same process. Once you hit create, you're going to follow the step-by-step instruction. So you're going to hit step 1, enter in the property address. So I've already, to save time here, folks, have an address that is online. So it's not my listing, but I just found it online. I'm just putting in the address in here. Once you find it, you select it. And what it will do, it will auto-populate the bed and bath and square footage for you. It uses public data, so it's not 100% accurate. You're going to have to confirm and double check, but it pulls that in. You're just going to have to update the price point. So this home is going for $299. And then that's it for first step, folks. I hope that was straightforward enough. All right, step 2. Now, when it comes to step 2, you can drag and drop the cover image right in here. And folks, we're getting questions about whether we're connected with BoatTrail. I believe BoatTrail is KV Core. So yes, it's already integrated with that. You just have to give us the email into Kaydoh and we'll send it to that automatically. Okay, going back here. Step 2, drop in the cover image. So you're gonna have to download the image, grab that image, and I have it here. So I'm just gonna drag and drop that image right in to make that cover image of the property. Step 3 is where we're going to put in the photos of this property. Again, this is just a sample that we give you. So you're just going to hit delete all to get rid of the sample. And what you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and select the images you have that you've already pre-downloaded, drag and drop it right in there. So far, so good, folks. Is that clear enough? We're already on step 3. All right, I'm going to keep going. Step 4. This is where you're filling out some of the basic information. Just answer each question. So you have a page title. So it says open house address here. You're just going to paste in your address. You can leave a lot of the pre-filled information. You may want to update the description, copy it from MLS, drop it right in here. If it's at different times, maybe it's on Saturday, Sunday, but 1 to 4, then just update it accordingly. You just update our pre-filled information. So that's about it. Now we're at step 5. Step 5 is where you have the opportunity to drop in a virtual tour link. So if you're on Matterport, you just give us that Matterport link, take that link that they give you, paste it right in there, and that's how you can put in a virtual tour. It's already automatically integrated within Kaydoh. Now we're on the last step, step 6. This is where the true magic happens here, folks. You can put, if you have a pre-recorded video, maybe you did a video tour and you have it on YouTube or Vimeo, you drop that link right in here and add it in, and the video goes at the very top of the page. Then you have your core content here. You have a way for people to register for off-market opportunities. This is just an automatic form. You don't even need to touch this. Leave that alone. This is where you're going to need to replace this with an updated detail report. So you can certainly edit this and replace the content with a file, right? So you drop the updated MLS buyer report right in here and drop that right in there. And once you do that, you can click on the button to preview it and you're going to see what that report looks like. So on the MLS side, you're just dropping that in here. Now, when it comes to open houses, to see what Kaydoh has done and kind of understand what we've done, you can just click on the button to see. And all we did, folks, is we just went on. Now we used Redfin as a search portal, but you can use any search portal of your choosing. And as long as it can allow you to have filters, all we did here is put in the zip code itself. So I'm going to do a quick search. If I want to find open houses around that area, I just put in the zip code accordingly. Right, so I'll do 95221. And then I'll put a little filter on here, and I can filter on all the open houses. Check that on. And these are all the open houses this coming weekend. I'm just grabbing this link, copy that, go back to Kaydoh. I'm going to update this tile so that it has the correct information. So I'm just going to edit, replace the content. And I'm going to, because it's just a link, folks, it's just a website link, I'm going to choose add a link, and I'm going to paste that in right in here. And then I hit update. And now if I want to verify, did I do this correctly? All I need to do is click on the button again. And this time it's going to take me to the correct location with the right zip code with the filters already set. So that's how you can do a open house that's near me. Now, when it comes to live housing report, right now, by default, as a sample, we're showing you could bring in the California housing report. But how do you make this a little bit more relevant so it's tied down to the property itself? Well, in our system, we have a way where first you can get rid of this, and you can go in and create a brand new content tile. And the content tile, you can go to your library, and in your library, you can go over to market reports. And in here, we have access to multiple states, down to the zip code level, live housing report, powered by Altos Research, and it updates weekly for you automatically once you insert it into one of your Kaydoh pages. So because this home is in the 95121, I can search for it, and I can bring that in. And that's all I do. Search for it, bring it in, and add it in. And now, if I want to preview this, I can click on the button, and this will bring in the live housing report for the 95121 interactive. Now, we're getting questions whether this is in Canada. Kaydoh is in Canada. Everything I'm sharing with you, you can use in Canada. However, the housing report is limited in some states in the US. We're not yet in Canada when it comes to the live housing reports. We're continually expanding, but we don't have the access right now. So within the tiles themselves, you can definitely reorder it. And what you'll notice down here below too is these are what we call the local amenities. To answer the question, what it's like to live in the area. Now, to kind of preview what we've done, you can click on the button again. And so what we do here is we're leveraging Yelp, and we're plugging in the address in here. So right now, this is just using LA. So obviously, it's the wrong information. How do you update it so that it points to the correct location? Well, we've built this in a way where first, you can delete all the sample data. So we can just get rid of all of this. Just delete them. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go in and go back to your content tiles, and there's going to be an option called local amenities. If you click on that, you're going to get access to all of the local amenities that you can bring in. And what's great about this is that it brings in the address already into those tiles. So all you got to do is select them, add them back into Kaydoh. Now, if I want to preview if it's correct, I can click on view again. And this time you're going to see is using Yelp best restaurants with the address as the center of the location. And we do that for every one of this. Best parks in the area, places to visit, events happening this weekend. Again, is leveraging Yelp to take advantage of all the events that are happening right now or this coming weekend. So that's how easy it is to bring in local amenities, folks. I hope that was what I'm sharing with you so far is good. Everything good? Great. So we're not done though, folks. We're not done. So let's talk about, well, how do I make this even level this up? How do I level this up even more? Here's the great things, folks. Let's see if I can try this while I'm on today's call. You can record a live video yourself. So let me see here. I don't want to conflict my current video. So let me see if I can turn off my own video here. Give me a second here. I'm going to try to, nope, I don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to turn myself off, and I'm going to record a live video. So within Kaydoh, you have a built-in system that can record on the fly directly inside the browser. You don't need any tools. You don't have to sign up for anything additional, folks. It's built inside Kaydoh. And now you can do an actual welcome script. You can, imagine, okay, we have to remember, folks, people scan the QR code, and then they're going to see this page. And then what you're saying, what they're going to see is they're going to see a video of you welcoming them in. So with that in context, I want to be able to speak accordingly. So I'm going to just do a quick one that I thought of. I'll just hit recording, and I'm going to record a quick video script, right? Wave my hand. Hey there, thank you so much for scanning the QR code. Welcome to my open house on ABC Ruther Drive. I'm the local realtor in the area, and down below is everything you're going to want to know about this property and more. I have information that isn't publicly available. This is the information that we give out to serious visitors that visit our open houses. So scroll down below. If you want off-market opportunity, you can register down below. You can see open houses near you. You can even get a live housing report that updates automatically every Monday. Just register and you'll get access to this information. If you see me in person, say hi. Talk to you soon. That's it. A simple script like that, folks. And then all I do is hit the red button. It automatically uploads the video, folks. I can play the video. And if I love it, I can go ahead and just hit save, and it saves the video right on the website. Was that straightforward enough, folks? That's all you got to do, folks. Hit record and goes right into the website. So now that I'm done, I can hit finish, and it's going to build me my open house page. So as everyone saw, just following the simple steps will get you to build out this professional page. So now that we have it, let's take a look how it looks. They scan it, they come right into the page, they see my video. Here's my open house. They can call me, they can schedule a tour, they can register for an off-market opportunity. They can see the buyer report right here. They can unlock this, fill out the form to get open houses near me. They can see the live housing report here. Again, updates every Monday automatically. Again, and then the local amenities right here. And then if I scroll down below, I'm going to see the details, my virtual tour. It's all built inside, my photos, schools near me. And then I'm bringing in my Google and my Zillow reviews automatically, stacking my credibility on every one of these pages. If you wanted to upload your own video, you can certainly do that. What we recommend is put that on YouTube or Vimeo, or use a service like Loom, and you can just give us the link and we'll put it right in at the very top right in here. So this is a recording that you're doing yourself. You're recording and doing this introduction. When somebody does fill out this information, the AI technology will kick in and send a ringless voicemail saying, hey, thank you, Frank, for scanning in. I'm going to send you some information towards the end of today. So it does an immediate follow-up acknowledgement that you filled out information using your clone voice. All right, folks. Hopefully you guys are liking what you're seeing so far. Okay. So we talked about building out one of these open house pages, making you stand out, not just in front of potential buyers, but any neighbors coming by, potential sellers. They're going to see how you operate. Now, how do you promote it? Okay, you build it, but it looks great, but how do you get people onto the site? Am I right, folks? Okay, there's a couple of ways of doing that. First things first, how do you share it on social media? You can just hit share here, and it's going to pre-generate a social media post with all the relevant information, and it's going to have your information baked inside the post, ready to go. All you have to do is hit copy the post and share, choose your platform. So put it on Facebook, and then it's going to open up Facebook for you. And all you need to do is go ahead and hit paste. So once it loads up, you hit paste that in, and then you just click next. So I'm going to put this privately only to me because I'm doing this demonstration. And I'm going to go ahead and share it. So that's as straightforward in terms of sharing it on social media. So when someone sees it, they can see all this detail, looks professionally written. And when they click on the image itself, it takes them directly to the open house page with your video, and then for an opportunity for them to schedule a tour, get off-market opportunity, see. So you're giving them multiple call to actions for them to view your information. I hope that makes sense. That's on social media. Now, let me talk about, well, what if you have a CRM and you want to blast out an email, right, to your followers? Here's a way to do that. What you can do is there's an option called send video email. You click on that, and what you do is you're going to write your email like you normally would. So I prepared an email here. Imagine I'm sending this out to 300 people in my network. All I have to do is prepare my email, and then what I need to do in the body is paste it in. Paste in the video clip. That's all I did, folks. I went in and said, send video email, which copies the video clip. It pastes it in, and now I can fire it off. So once I fire it off, it's going to go to the person, and I'm going to show you what it looks like on the consumer end. And where's my email? Oh, there it is. Perfect. So I got an email here from Michael. I click on that, and this is what I see. I see this video clip. I click on the image or the link, doesn't matter. It takes me directly to this page, and we track that, so you'll know how many people are clicking from your emails that lands on your open house page. And it gives you the exact same experience, and it looks great on the phone as well. So it just looks like this on the phone. So whether it's on the phone or on the computer, it looks nice on both ends. All right, so we showed you how to share it on social media. We showed you how to share it via email. Well, how do you promote it when the people are at the open house? How do you get people to actually view this information? So remember, folks, you create a very simple flyer with the QR code. But what you want to do is you want to leverage what we call K tags. These K tags can be fully branded to you. So in Kaydoh, you can go create a brand new QR code and point it to that open house page. So I'm going to create a brand new one. I'm going to call it, let's say it's the open house flyer. Make it very simple because it's generic. It's going to be the main QR code that is going to be used in all your open houses, multiple open houses. It doesn't matter which one. And when you're making a QR code in Kaydoh, you have all these different destinations where you can point that QR code to. So you can point it to a business card, a digital card, a Kaydoh page, a phone number, an email address, or an external website. So for now, I'm going to choose a Kaydoh page, and it's going to pull up all my pages I've made inside my system. And I'm going to choose the one that says Ruther Place. I'm going to select that and hit save. And it's going to generate me a QR code. And then what I can do is I can start branding this. So I can actually change and edit the design. I can say, you know what, I want to put in the eXp logo. I can look that up, bring that eXp logo right in. I can change the color a little bit here. So I can probably say, you know, I'm going to try the traditional, maybe the blue color. Okay. Maybe I'm going to change a square to say blue. So this, you know, this could be easily my own personal logo too, as a realtor, but you can brand it as you need to and hit save. And what's going to happen now is you can take this QR code, download it, print it, invest in one of those rider signs, and slap it out there. And when people scan it, and I want people to do that right now so you can see the experience, go ahead and scan it. And it's going to take you to the open house page. And I'm going to quickly demonstrate how you can change the destination to go to another location. So I want everyone, if you can, we're not collecting your information, just scan the QR code. It's going to take you to the open house page. I want everyone to experience that. Now, once you've scanned it, everyone's going to get this experience. It's going to go right to this page, and they can basically, enjoy the open house page. Now, here's the thing. Let's say you end up selling the property, you no longer are going to do that open house. It's sold, and it's time for you to go do another open house. Or maybe you don't have any listing, but you don't want people scanning it to get that bad experience where the open house is no longer active, right? That, I mean, I don't know how anyone else experienced that, but I see that all the time, where a lot of broken links happen with these QR codes. They sell the property, you scan it, and then it just goes nowhere. It's a horrible experience. Here's the thing. Once you sell that property, what you can do is you can change the destination, remove it, and go to another. You can go back to your main website. It can go to another Kaydoh page, or it can go to your own personal website, right? So I can type one in, eXp.kaydoh.com. This is where you can actually do the trial. So I can change that QR code to point to this link now, and the QR code never changes. It's permanent. So the code itself, the design, actually never changes. So for those that scanned the QR code just previously, go ahead and scan it now and tell me what you see. It should redirect you to the eXp website. Okay, so it happens right on the fly, folks. You don't have to reprint anything. Print once, use anytime, anywhere, update anytime. Okay, folks, moving on here. We talked about the K tags here. We talked about open houses. We talked about this funnel. Let's talk about any questions here now. Let's wrap it up here. We can talk about pricing. Everybody, so let me just kind of go back to my slides here and just emphasize, folks. Kaydoh continues to be an invite only, folks. So to the general public, everybody joins our wait list. But through our relationship with eXp, everybody has instant access to Kaydoh. You can start a free trial. You can scan this QR code. It'll take you to the eXp website where you can start your trial. It's free to start. We'll get you trained up. It only takes 30 minutes. And today, honestly, that was the basic training right there. It's not more difficult than what I just shared with you. So when you get on a call, you're going to go over almost the same thing that I just went over today. So if you're doing open houses, you're doing them routinely, whether it's your open house or somebody else's, it's a great way to build that branding, build that professionalism, and to build to organize yourself and build the trust and generate those leads that are higher in quality. So if you scan the QR code, it's going to take you to eXp.kaydoh.com. Amy from our support team is dropping the link in the chat window. You can click on that. And let's talk about briefly on the some other things here, such as the pricing and questions as well. So let me kind of scan through what questions we have that may have been missed. We got a question here. Can you have multiple K tags? Absolutely. We don't limit you. Like other systems out there, they charge you on how many codes you can have. They charge like $60 a month just to use the codes. This is all baked in our system. We don't count how many QR codes you make within our system. We do limit how many pages that are active, right? So when it comes to pricing, let's just briefly go over the pricing, folks, so we can see that together. Is that when you're on our system, there is a $199 activation fee one time, but you have a starter plan that starts at $39 month to month. There is no contract. You get 10 of these landing pages or microsites that you can have active in a given month. So that means you can have 10 open houses at once. You can do 10 listing presentation. You can do 10 off-market pages or email campaigns. It's 10 active pages that you can have in a given month. And if you go beyond 10, you can turn them off to make more. We don't limit how many you can make. We limit how many you can have actively promoted out there online. Now, for those that grow within the system, they naturally will upgrade to the bigger plans, because the bigger plans gives you higher capacity, more marketing pages you can do and have active at a given time. You can put more inside one page. So each page, by default, you can have 8 of those squares, those tiles. With the bigger plans, you can have much more. You can white label your domain. If you have a domain that says sellingwithmike.com, you can bring that into Kaydoh, import that in. There is an additional cost of $30 annually if you want to do that, but then you can white label and have all your pages branded to your domain. The K tags are part. The K tags are part of the $59 plan. So if you want those dynamic QR codes that is fully branded, then you're going to definitely want to be on the $59 a month plan. However, again, you can start off $39, get the standard QR codes. When you feel like you're ready to upgrade, you can always upgrade to the bigger plan. You pay the activation only one time. And then if you want those live housing reports, you're going to want to be on the $99 plan. And then if you are a mega producer, you got it, and you're using it on various different marketing levels, then you're going to want to be on the unlimited plan. And naturally, what we're seeing with our customer base is they start off slow, they start unlocking all these different marketing opportunities within Kaydoh, and they start expanding out because there's so many things that they're doing. They're going after FSBOs, expired. They're trying to get referrals from all their closings. They're doing pre-listings, open houses. So all of those have already templates inside Kaydoh for. So they're leveraging in so many different ways. Great questions, folks. Let's see here. What is a rider sign you mentioned for the QR code? So you have the option to create a K tag to be the rider sign. So when you go to your vendor, your print shop that creates those rider signs, you can give them that image. So in other words, you can go to your K tags, download this image, download the image and give it to the print shop. They will take that and they'll put that on the rider sign and they'll print it on it. So that becomes a permanent fixture on your rider sign. Even though it's permanent, this QR code is dynamic. It can point to any of your resources at any time. So once you sell it, you can point it to another resource or maybe another coming soon. So you're already pre-marketing that property after you sold one property. So there's various different ways of leveraging it. But the main thing here is you invest once, so you can update it anytime. Is this a limited time offer? Well, access to Kaydoh right now is through our relationship with eXp. So we are a solution provider. So you have access to the product itself. So sign up anytime you want. I do recommend if you're ready to expand your business, you're already doing open houses on a monthly basis, then you're going to be able to benefit from Kaydoh. If you're not prospecting and you're not marketing yourself, you're probably not going to do well in Kaydoh, right? Kaydoh is really designed for realtors that are ready to elevate their business. They have a prospecting strategy or they're looking to commit to one, but they need Kaydoh to be that final destination place. Because folks, no matter what type of strategy you use, no matter what type of marketing you use, you need to drive people to a page to learn more about what you're selling. What is the property you're selling? What are you selling? So you still need a destination page, and that's where Kaydoh comes in. We have all these pre-built templates that makes it easy for you to address your audience accordingly. Can you use it? Let's see. Great. If you had an open house information for someone else, would you put that risk of versus working with the agent? Okay, great question, folks. The concern here is if I'm using somebody else's open house page, is there a concern about those people working with that other agent? Well, if you look at it, I just went in and let's look at this open house page I did. This is a legitimate real open house active on the MLS. And when you look at this page itself and someone finds it, who are they going to call? They're going to call this. And this is tied to my number. When they fill out this form, it's tied to my information. It goes to my email box. If they want to fill out this information, they're going to fill it out and it's going to go to me, my email. So you can see it goes directly to you, the account owner of Kaydoh. However, to be compliant, you have to make sure every location is a little bit different, but a general rule is you want to make sure you put the listing agent license number right in here and make it clear that this is their listing. Just like you go on Zillow.com, you see, someone else promoted there. That's not their listing. That's the person who paid money to get promoted on your listing. But in the detail, in very small words, it says listed by Mike Lamb. But the person that they're contacting isn't Mike. It's Jerry from ABC Realty, because Jerry spent money and paid ads to run ads on Zillow. Same type of concept, folks. Same type of concept. Great stuff, folks. Let's see what else question we got. Let's keep it coming, folks. Let's see here before, and I can certainly go over some other templates if we have some. If you guys want to see other templates that are available, can you use it? more than one CRM at a time. So right now, directly is not possible. It goes to a specific destination, where it goes to a specific email, or it can go to a specific CRM. However, to control where, if you're using multiple CRMs, you can use something like Zapier, where the lead comes into Zapier, and then you can control the lead flow. You can control it and say, I want it to go to this CRM, and this lead goes to this CRM. So you can certainly do that as well. So the question is, when I was sharing the custom logo, is this a regular QR code or K tag? So this is a K tag, folks. K tags are the QR codes that you can brand. You can dynamically change the destination. Standard QR codes, they do come built inside the Kaydoh page, where you can view the QR code, but you can't change the destination. You can't change how it looks. It's a standard black QR code, which is what most QR codes look like. They're static. They come built inside every one of these pages for free. Question here. If you run a team and you use 9 out of the 10 pages to link to Teams open house on any given weekend, and then point the QR codes for past open houses to a single follow-up landing page, am I understanding this correctly? So what you would want to do is, if you run a team and you have and you're rotating the team who is doing the open houses. I think I lost that question there. If you have, I think the question is, you had a team of 9 that does open houses at any given Sunday, right? So any given Sunday, that QR code can point to any one of your team open house pages. So each team will have its own branded open house page branded to them. But the QR code is printed once, and it can be pointed to any of your team members at that time. So that's the scenario where you're rotating team members in. You have one listing, but any Sunday can be Jessica. And then next week can be James, and then it can be Frank, where every one of your team members will have their own duplicated Kaydoh page. So it's branded to them, and then all the leads goes to them, right? So that's how it works. Now, if you have 9 separate listings, then in that situation, you may want to have, you have 2 options. You can have 9 separate QR codes that go to different destinations at each place, or you can have one QR code that goes to a specific generic site made in Kaydoh, where every one of these tiles can point to the different open houses. So that's a little bit more complex, but those are different ways around it. Absolutely. And we can take that a little bit offline, but we do work with teams that does that. And generally what they'll do is they'll make an open house page for individual team members. So it's very clean, organized, everything goes to them, but they have one QR code and they just point it accordingly. Listing presentation. So we got some questions about that. Certainly, we can talk about that briefly here. I just want to make sure we answer any questions about the open house stuff. Let's see here. What information does Kaydoh require for Follow-Up Boss? Great question. Here's the best part. I love working with Follow-Up Boss, because all you got to do, folks, is in Follow-Up Boss, you give us the email, the lead email, and all you're doing to integrate it with Kaydoh, you just go to your user settings and you drop in the Follow-Up Boss email right in this input box right here. That's it. You hit save. Every lead that gets generated will be copied and sent to your Follow-Up Boss email, which gets inserted into your CRM automatically. KV Core works the same way. So again, we're getting questions about multiple agents using one QR page. So what you're doing is you're creating multiple Kaydoh pages for individuals. The reason why you want to have separate duplicated pages is because each person, the way your team operates is, if you're doing the open house that day, then you're the one who's going to get the leads that day. So you want to make sure that everything gets funneled into that page. So when you look at the dashboard and the way it's set up, is that you can have each team member can have the exact copy of this open house page. So you just hit duplicate, and then it goes to the next person. So you can assign it to different, you can have 9 people. You can have 9 copies of this, but each person is going to have their own separate version, and you can label it. Like this one can say, this one goes to, this is James Open House. I can say James on this. I can make another one. I can do the same thing. I can add tags internally so that I'll know this belongs to James. Wait, did I do that right? I'll put in James, and now James will show here. I can duplicate it again, give it to Jessica, and add Jessica in. So you can organize it in that way. Yes. So if you have a team of 50, so when you have team members themselves, we do have a team plan. So when it comes to the pricing, let me go back there and we'll jump back to the listing presentation. But when it comes to the team plan, we do have a team plan where we charge, it's when you have 3 or more users, it's $69 a user. And this really gives you, in perspective, you're paying the $149 a month, but you're paying for $69 for each user. So we require a minimum of 3 to 9. If you have 50 users, then you're basically paying $50 per user. And you're getting the unlimited plan, folks. So you get everything. You're essentially getting the enterprise deal. It's an amazing deal, but that's if you have a big team and you're paying for that account, right? So you're paying for the corporate account, and the team members will be able to have their own private account, log in, but you as the account owner gets to see what everybody's doing, and you're going to be able to create pages for each other. You can create templates. Everybody can get that template, so you can really manage and keep your brand on point. Like everybody who does an open house with this team is going to get this type of branding, this type of media assets, things of that nature. Hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, folks. Link to Lofty. So question is, can this link to Lofty or Brivity? So we don't have a direct integration with them. But again, you're going to have to use, well, first you'll need to double check if Lofty have a similar system like Follow Up Boss, where they can accept leads from external sources. If they can, then we can essentially send it to them directly. And it takes very little time to get that set up. Otherwise, you're going to use Zapier to connect that in. And again, that type of CRM integration probably requires a separate conversation. So if you have further questions, again, you can go to exp.kaydoh.com, book a demo with us, answer the questions, and then go ahead and schedule a meeting with us directly. And we'll get on the call. We can answer the questions as we see fit, tailored towards you. Can we use our vanity email instead of our eXp email? Yeah, you can use any email as long as you're coming through this URL. This is really only exposed to the eXp community. So this is not a public link that you're going to find online out there. So this is a link that is exposed for the eXp community. If you want to use your own personal email, you can sign up, use your own personal email. We're going to know you're coming in from eXp. We have a team that does our due diligence, double checks, brings in your information from eXp accordingly, the logos, etc., and we set your account up and then get you all trained up. Got a question here. Let's see here. I love it, folks. I'm going to stay on. You guys keep having questions. I'm going to stay on, folks. I love it. I love it. And oh, yeah. Let me go back very quickly. A listing presentation. Okay, so if you want to do a listing presentation, or you got an appointment set and you really want to impress the sellers, this is what we call Kaydoh's bread and butter, fame to claim type of scenario, because we're really well known for this. Where if you're going to have a listing appointment, use the listing presentation template. It works extremely well, folks. You're going to be able to make a little personalized video, personalize it to the homeowner, drop the homeowner name, put your presentation in, drop the CMA in, housing report, show them a sample, throw in your net sheet, and you're going to look amazing in front of that seller. And it makes you look super prepared. And to make one of this, you're going to hit create, and you're just going to follow the step by step. We walk you through every single step accordingly, and then you just hit finish and send it out. Now, folks, we do have a mobile app, so you can download the Kaydoh app, and you're going to be able to easily text that out to people as well. Good stuff, folks. In our previous webinar, we talked about the listing presentation. So check on the previous webinar we did, and we did a whole detail on listing presentation. Follow-up Boss works really well with us, folks. We have a lot of customers within eXp and within other organizations that are on our system that does use Follow-up Boss, and it works seamless. All right. Yes, the activation is a one-time fee, folks. All right, let's see here. I'm going to go back up. Any other questions, folks? Let's see here. Limit time offer. What's the difference? What's the difference between an account and profile? Okay, so great question. So a profile user, let me go back here, is the ability to bring in, let's say, a vendor to help you, or maybe a realtor that's not ready to be on their own. They're not going to create their own pages, but they're going to support you. You want to put them on your page together so they can be considered, part of the team, and they can have their contact information on your open house page or your listed page or your presentation page. Maybe you two are coming together for a presentation. So that's what a profile, you're bringing in their contact information, and it's going to appear down below as an additional profile card. That's what it is. Excuse me. So that's what a profile is. An account user is somebody that has an account where they can log in and create their own pages. So profile users are like, think of it like read only. They can't really do anything. The account owner builds it for them, but they can brand it to them, to that profile user, but they can't make pages. Whereas an account user can actually make their own pages. They can hide things, turn things off, but they belong to the account owner. All right. Let's see here. What else we got here? Question about Instagram. So Instagram, the way you want to share one of these Kaydoh pages is that what you want to do is on Instagram, you can't share links directly, like very seamlessly, like in Facebook, because Instagram is all about photos. So what you do is you share the image on Instagram, but then there's usually a tag or an icon you can choose called link. And then what you're doing is you're going to copy this link and you're going to paste that link in there, and you can drop that right in the image. So when people see that page in the open house announcement, they tap that link and it goes right to the Kaydoh page. That's how you do that on Instagram. Good stuff here. Let's see here. Much easier. Yes, this is... yes, our product is super easy to use, folks. It's just taking you step by step. All right, folks. Anything else? Okay. I think we're good, folks. I don't think we have any other questions. I hope to see folks on the other line here. So if you booked a demo, I'll be on the call. Yes, a question here. Can you create a digital business card? Yes. So the business card is going to K-Tax and creating a brand new card. We'll call it a business card. And when you do that, choose the option business card, and it's going to bring your photo in, your name, your information, your company. You can put in your website information. So maybe I'll say exp.kaydoh.com, and I can save this. So this now becomes my digital business card that you put on a QR code. I will, I can change out the design, right? Change out the color accordingly. But when I'm done and I really like it, when you scan it, and I suggest people right now, if you want to scan the QR code so you can see the experience, when you scan it, it's going to give an option to download that contact, and it gets inserted into your phone. So this is how you can grab Kaydoh's information and put it into your phone. And you just scan it, it opens up your phone, it asks you, do you want to import the contact? Say yes, and it gets added right into the system. And if you want to, again, so you can create more QR codes. You have different scenarios, maybe a website for sellers, maybe a QR code for buyers, maybe a QR code for investors. So you can start being very creative with these branded QR codes that you have at your disposal. All right, here. So the activation fee, what that does is our team will set your account up. We bring in your profile. We bring in your logo. We get you all trained up. That is all part of the activation. We get you onboarded on a one-on-one or group training phase process. So by the time you get started or time you're ready to go, you hit the ground running, folks. All right. Let's see here. Process of deciding. Yeah, questions. All right, folks. Again, if you have any more questions, put them in here. Otherwise, we're gonna end it today. Wow, we went a little bit over, folks. So I appreciate everyone that stuck around. Stay tuned. We'll have more webinars in the future. The next one will come. We'll have another one. Maybe this one we'll talk about how to generate referrals from your actual closing statement. That's a very interesting one. It generates a lot of great interest. Maybe that's the next one we'll do on the next webinar. You guys let me know. Put it in the chat window. That sounds interesting to you. Again, I can't wait to see folks on the system. We'll do the training. We'll get you all squared away, and we'll get you winning for the rest of the year here and going forward. All right, I'm going to stick around here, folks. Good stuff. So the QR code. Well, if you don't use QR, if you are a paying customer of Kaydoh and you decide to cancel, which does happen, then those QR code no longer exist. They won't operate any longer. So that is part of the Kaydoh service. Very similar to other paid services out there. They operate very similar to itself. So this is not a free service. It's part of the Kaydoh system. Yes, you can later today. You're going to get an automatic email that sends you the full video of today's training. You'll see that. It'll also be on YouTube as well for anyone to watch. You'll also get the slides as well. Good stuff, folks. All right. Thank you, Christina, for that. Thank you, folks. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, everyone, for participating today and being on the live chat. It does help. It makes, as a presenter, extremely valuable when I can see people engage. It doesn't feel like I'm talking to myself here. You can imagine on a Zoom call, right, or on a virtual call, I don't get to see people's face-to-face. So the chat window is really my only vision of what the community is doing, right? So as a speaker, we had to adapt, and thank you for participating in the chat. It makes my life much easier and more fun to do these types of webinar. Thank you all. Yeah, feel free again. If you have more questions, feel free to put that up. Good stuff. All right, just making sure. So I'm going to stick around here. I think it's still being recorded. Yeah. All right. If there was no others, I'm going to close my screen here.